Welcome guys, welcome to the course of TCP/IP. Today we are going to discuss about the differences between the IP version 4 and IP version 6. As we are the last chapter of this particular syllabus, so let's start with the difference between IP version 4 and IP version 6. We have previous video of IP version 4 and as well as IP version 6. Please do watch that video also. So let's take the difference between these two. So what we have first column, on the basis of the some parameters, we are going to differentiate between the IP version 4 and IP version 6. My first parameter is what address length, and the address length in IP version 4 has 32-bit address length. So what we have consecutive 32 bits are available, where 4 octets are available. Each octet is what 1 byte, 4 bytes are available. Whereas IP version 6 having the consecutive 128-bit address length, where 128 consecutive bits are available. And these are divided into kind of octets, where what we can combination of 2 octets in 1 byte. So 16 byte and 8 byte also, 16 and 8 blocks also available. Then configuration support. It supports manual and DHCP address configuration in terms of the IP version 4, whereas in terms of IP version 6, it supports auto and renumbering address configuration, where auto configuration is what the best feature of the IP version 6, where in the DHCP 6, what we can say, where the link address can be set, set and automatically that is going to be assigned. So here in IP version 4, DHCP or manually can be possible, but in terms of the IP version 6, automatic configuration of the IP address is available. Then next, end-to-end connectivity. In IP version 4, end-to-end connectivity integrity is unachievable, whereas in terms of the IP version 6, end-to-end connection integrity is achievable because the size of the IP version 6 is very huge. It is countless value. That's why any device on the earth can be communicated via IP version 6, whereas the IP version 4 only limited size about 32 bit. So 2 to the power 30 bit is what the size space, and that's why the limited number of devices can be connected at time. So connectivity not possible at all time. Then address space. The address space of the IP version 4 is 2 to the power 32, which is more than 4 billion value. This is what the total value is available with us, IP version 4. Whereas IP version 6 having 2 to the power 128, which is very large number and which is countless value, guys. There we can see the value of this IP version address space 6. Right? Address representation in terms of IP version 4 is in terms of decimal, whereas in IP version 6 it is address representation of the here in terms of hexadecimal notation, where by using colon it is going to be separated, but here the dot is going to be available. In addressing, the IP version 4 is a numerical address method, where the numbers can be available with the, let's say, 192.168.1.1 numerical kind of thing, whereas in IP version 6 alphanumerical addressing method, where the mixed categories are available, hexadecimal numbers are also available, kind of thing. Then fragmentation. This is very important. Fragmentation preferred by the sender and forwarding router. So here the fragmentation of any IP datagram, IP packets is possible at the sender as well as the in between node, that is what the router. But in terms of the IP version 6, it is only supported by the sender. So it is what the restrictions over here. So these are the differences between this one. So let's go to the another differences. And second will be VLSM. Variable length subnet mask is available in terms of the IP version 4, but in terms of the IP version 6, it does not support for the VLSM because it need not required because the size is very large in terms of the IP version 6. Simplification. It is not simplified, and IP version 6 is more simplified because whatever the limitations are available in IP version 4 has been overcome in IP version 6, and the header format is also simplified. Okay, there's some fields are removed. The number of fields, so there are 12 to 13 fields are available, that is more fields available, and in terms of IP version 6 only 8 fields are available. Few fields are removed over here and some fields are renamed over here. Then header extension. Header extension is not available. And what header extension? Additional information to identify the datagram. The header extension can carries the information. Okay. So this optional field is available, but header extension is not available. But here the IP version 6, it is available, and it have a 6 different extension headers like authentication, fragmentation, source, destination, ESP, etc. are available. We have separate video for that particular extension header. Please do all that also. Flow identification. In IP version 4, packet flow identification is not available, where in terms of the IP version 6, the flow identifications are available and use flow label field in the header. So in the header format, flow label field is available for this identification purpose. Then checksum. In IP version 4, checksum field is available, but in terms of IP version 6, checksum field is not available. Encryption. The IP version 4 encryption and authentication facility not provided. Okay, but in terms of the IP version 6, encryption and authentications are provided. There are two separate protocols available, IP security protocols, and the field is also available in header format for the security purpose. So security is more in terms of this. So security features is dependent on application. If any application want to provide the security, that application dependency is available. But in terms of IP version 6, IPsec is inbuilt security features in the IP version protocol, IP version 6 protocol. There are two protocols are available, Edge protocol and ESC protocol is available. We have also separate video for that also. Then header. IP version 4 has a header 20 to 60 byte, whereas the IP version 6 has header 40 byte fixed. Okay. Then overhead more because fields are more. Here there are 13 to 14 fields are available. So in order to process every fields, time required more, and time required more, this what overhead is more. Whereas in terms of the IP version 6, the less number of fields are available header format, so less overhead is available in this one. So these are the also differences, few differences. Let's take another differences. Then resolution. Here in terms of the IP version 4, IP version 4 uses ARP for what the address resolution protocol to map to the MAC address. Whereas in terms of the IP version 6, it uses NDP, that is Neighbor Discovery Protocol, to map the MAC address. Because here ARP and RARP protocol, where the one node is don't knowing the MAC address of that particular local computer, where and another is what IP address don't know. So that mapping is going to resolution can be solved with ARP and RARP, but in terms of there is what protocol, new protocol, NDP, that is Neighbor Discovery Protocol. Then routing. IP version 4 support for flat routing because the size of the IP version 4 is very less. So structurized manner is less than the IP version 6, where the IP version 6 hierarchical routing support because the number is huge and we can design network in any fashion. That today's era of internet is what IP version 6. The number of classes. So here there are concept of classes. Where the IP version 4 having the class A, B, C, D, E. Okay, these are the 5 classes are available, but there is no any kind of class concept in IP version 6. Where out of this A, B, C, D, A, B, C are what the user purpose, D and E for the specific purpose, multicast and reserve purpose. That we also have the separate video on the number of the classes of IP version 4. SNMP protocol used for the system management. In terms of the IP version 4, in terms of the IP version 6, SNMP does not support IP version 6. The simple network management protocols is not supported over here. The packet size, then the 576 byte packet size will be there. It will be minimum maximum. And here in terms of this IP version 6, 1280, that is 1280 byte, the minimum NPU is available. Mobility, it not built in but support for mobile IP. So IP version 4, it is not built in but it support for mobile IP. But IP version 6, mobile IP is built in with the optimized routing mechanism. Then IPsec, Internet Security Protocol, that concerning network security is optional. So security is optional in terms of the IP version 4, but in terms of the IP version 6, it is mandatory. It is already either format available security field. The quality of service, it support differential and integrity services. IP version 4, IP version 6 supports differential and integrity services, but compression is better because less header fields are available. So this is what another differences between this. Let's take another differences. So here, in terms of the differences, what we can see, ICMP, it used to provide message information, and IP version 6 extensively used to provide message information and protocol function. Then message transmission, it has broadcast message transmission scheme. IP version 4 supports for broadcasting. IP version 6 multicast and anycast message transmission scheme is available. So these additional features are available because in terms of the IP version 4, multicasting reserved IP address are available. Here anycast also support. Header length is available, and here header length field is eliminated in IP version 6 because the length of the header is fixed in this version. So this is what also the service type. The service type is available in the IP version 4, but in terms of IP version 6, service type is eliminated. But the traffic class and flow label field together take over the function of the service type field. So this is what additional features have been added. And total length is available field regarding field, and total length field is eliminated in IP version 6 and it is replaced with the payload length field. Then fragmentation field is available where we have three flag, more fragment, do not fragment, flag offset, identification number. But in the sum of this IP version 6, the identification flag and offset fields are eliminated from the base header. and they are included in the fragmentation extension header. So there is a separate extension header is available for the fragmentation. It has not included in the header format because it is decided by the source itself. So it can be possible to add additional information in extension header. But in terms of the IP version 4, it is mandatory field, compulsory field. Then optional field available, but in terms of the IP version 6, optional field is in the IP version 4 is implemented as extension header in the IP version 6. Then TTL, that is time to live, it is available. And in terms of the IP version 6, TTL field is called hop limit in IP version 6. So TTL field is replaced with the hop limit. Let's take example of the IP version 4, guys, 192.168.1.1. And then if we see with the example of this IP version 6, so here what we can say, the colon separated notation where the mixed kind of things are available, where FD, EC, then BA, 98 up to FF, and etc. Okay, so there is a mistake that S is added extra, so that S is not. So let's remove this S. This is what the these are what the differences between the IP version 4 and 6, guys. I hope, guys, these differences are clear to you. We have taken the plenty of differences in terms of the uh, basic differences in on the basis of the fields, on the basis of some address space, etc. So we have thorough 22 for 25 differences are available over here. So that I hope, guys, this video is like to you, that IP version 4 and IP version 6 differ. Before this, but we have videos IP version 6 also. So please do watch that also video. Do watch that videos. Thank you so much.